to the Craft Parenting Podcast.
Back.
Yep. Thank you, Carolyn. Welcome back to the Craft Parenting Podcast. Podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem.
But not tonight.
Yeah, tonight we are free to do chores.
Yeah. So many chores.
Which I guess we have enough time to do some podcasting. So,
well, I mean, everybody. Okay, most of the people that are coming over tomorrow have been to the house before. So, and they're like people that we know well. So I'm like, you know where stuff is.
Oh, yeah.
You're fine.
So, by the way, my name is Joe Ludwig, and with me is my lovely wife and co-host, Caroline.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. I've got my West Side mug, but I am drinking some Cincy Light Lager.
Yeah, and we just have a hodgepodge of topics to talk about. Mm-hmm. No real agenda. We're hanging out. If you are hanging out, let us know in the chat.
Hi, chat.
It says there are 2 people watching.
I think I'm one of them. Wait, now it says there's 4. Tells me there's 4 people watching.
Wait, what? Hello, 4 people who are watching. If you are here, say something in the chat because we have we have the chat open.
What's that?
Yeah. So let's talk about what we did tonight without the kids, and then we'll talk about why we don't have kids right now.
Well, I mean, I can start off with this morning, and then we can go into why we didn't have the kids.
All right. What was this morning?
So this morning was Lily's Meet the Teacher. So we had already met her new teacher at the open house, but this was actually just one-on-one, her with the teacher. And she was so excited. She told me, "Mama, you drop me off at school and then you leave." And I was like, "Homegirl, that's not how this works today."
Oh, man.
That's Monday with Daddy. Daddy will drop you off on Monday.
That I will. And she will be like, bye.
Yeah, it's going to be boy bye. Like, she's not even going to turn around. She's going to run out the door. She was telling me, this is how you get to the playground. This is how you get to that. This is where this is. So she was telling me all about her school.
She loves that place.
She does. So we got to hang out with her teacher. They have a little scavenger hunt that they have the kids do where it's find all of this stuff in the room. And last year, I think Lily found like 3 out of the 9 things, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
This year she found all of the things. And
I can see that. She's very observant.
Yeah. And she's very meticulous. So when she found a thing, she sat down, she colored in her heart, and then she put a dot next to the heart because the markers weren't working great. So she had to do that for every single one. It was really cute.
Yeah.
So we met the teacher, and then we had to go across the hall to say hello to her old teacher because she really wanted to see her old teacher. And I was like, well, we can say hi if she doesn't have a student in there. Unfortunately, she didn't. And I was like, but we can't say hi to her all the time because you have a new teacher now. But she was super excited to talk to her old teacher and hang out with her. And then we went grocery shopping so Lily could pick out her birthday cake for her party because her birthday party is tomorrow.
And that is part of the reason why we don't have kids.
Yep. So we swapped around childcare on Friday, which is today, so that we could have overnight childcare and have an easier time getting chores done. Mm-hmm. Instead of chores taking 6 hours to get done, they'll take about 3 hours to get done. And then we can maybe get some other stuff done, or we can just like podcast and chill around the house.
We got a bit done.
Yeah, though when I say go from 6 hours to 3 hours, it means that I go from having like 2.5 hours of stuff down to like an hour of stuff. Joe still has to mow the whole yard tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I just couldn't do it tonight. It's like 100% humidity.
Yeah. When I woke up this morning and got to work, I was like, I wonder what the temperature is outside. It was 78 degrees outside. The feels like, before the sun had even come up, was 85 degrees with a humidity of 88%.
Yeah, it's awful.
Stay hydrated. I mean, like, beer is liquid, but throw some waters in there too, please.
And right on cue, it is Germania's Oktoberfest this weekend.
Yes, it's usually the hottest. So there's usually like a competition between Schützenfest and Germania's Oktoberfest for which one is the hottest. Mm-hmm. The real losers are the people who have to dance.
Which we used to do that.
Yeah. That might be me next year. We'll see.
But Schützenfest, they used to be in, that's the Coping Society. Mm-hmm. Schützenfest, they used to do it in July, and then they moved it to June.
Which was arguably a good decision, but then they made it the same weekend as one of our events. And that was...
Yeah, that was not cool, but maybe they'll move it back to July.
We'll see. I don't know.
I mean, I kind of liked it in July. I kind of spaced everything out.
Yeah, it did break up fest season.
Because there's Mayfest in May, Schwabenfest in June, Schützenfest in July.
And then Germania, for us, officially kicked off the Oktoberfest season.
Yeah, and I mean, really, it's hard. It's very difficult if you were on the west side and you want to do a festival, because there is literally a festival, a church festival, a whatever festival every single weekend.
Yeah.
Starting in late May through this weekend, which is also St. Ives.
Yeah, I was going to say your alma mater's festival is this weekend.
Yeah. I think that's the last one as far as like the Catholic festivals go.
It's at least the last big one.
There's the Harvest Home Festival, which starts with a parade. I always went to the parade, and I never really went to the festival.
We went one year.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was weird.
You made me go caving.
I did not make you. I strongly suggested, and then you did it. That's not my fault. But, you are a person with your own free will.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
We weren't married yet.
I don't even think we were dating.
We weren't.
I don't know why I listened to you.
I don't know why either.
But you mentioned, did we mention what we were drinking?
I mentioned what I was drinking.
Yeah, so this kind of kicks off we kind of mentioned it. This weekend kicks off Oktoberfest, at least for us.
We will probably not be going to Germania, but we'll see.
Well, yeah, because the day we would go would be on Sunday. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
Yeah, it depends on how we recover from Lily's party.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, I don't know when they're dancing.
I think it's usually like 2 or 3. I don't remember.
Like 5 or something.
It could be like 5.
It's like at the hottest part of the day. Almost the hottest
They
part.
got official word on Monday that they didn't have to wear tights. And that is like high point.
But I am drinking the West Side Festa beer, which is 6% ABV. It's a German style lager, and it's at 32 IBUs, which don't matter because they are made up. This is my first Oktoberfest style beer in 2023 from the 2023 batch.
Yeah, I would say with certainty for me from the 2023 batch, not necessarily first of the year, because I like to drink old beers from our fridge. Well, I don't like to. I have to.
Well, I mean, we've been good. I mean,
Oktoberfest beer does not last long in our house.
No, it doesn't.
It goes real quick. This will probably all be gone by the end of the weekend.
I'm pretty sure it comes in a 4-pack.
Well, those are 16-ounce cans.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely will be gone. But this will be gone by the end of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorites from them, we have the Oktoberfest as well.
Mm-hmm.
I might sneak that in if we have time. But very good. It comes in, like I said, 4-packs. But they are pint-sized, not 19.2.
No tall boys.
Which I'm a little disappointed in. But
hey, the gnome wants liter cans. So
hey, if anyone can get it done, it is West Side Brewing.
Yeah.
So they should.
And they could use you as a hand model. It'll make the cans look 10 times bigger.
Yeah. I do want to say that we got some flack, I think is the word that the kids use. Some grief.
I don't think these are any words that the kids use these days, but they are words that kids used at some point in time.
Okay.
Continue.
So on a certain podcast, people gave us grief because we never go to West Side, but we have the Mug Club. Well, the joke is on you. You know who you are because we went to West Side today and I have picture evidence of it.
We have photo evidence that we use the mugs. I'm currently drinking out of our 2021 mug, and Joe is drinking out of our, by process of elimination, 2022 mug because they didn't put a year on the 2022 mug. I'm actually not sure if they put a year on the 2023 mug.
No, they did.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know why they skipped 2022.
I don't know.
But Julia, does your 2022 mug have a year on it?
Is she a Mug Club?
I thought they were.
Oh.
I don't remember.
They do higher gravity.
They can go out and drink more than we can these days.
Well, yeah. But we have the West Side going on over here.
Button.
Which one?
The one you're contractually obligated to hit.
Well, which one is it?
It's West Side, West Side. That one.
Okay.
Now you owe me $5.
Why?
You owe me $5 every time you hit that button.
Why would I hit the button then? That makes 0 sense.
It's my royalties.
Oh, okay.
That's like insane shit.
That's right, Marco.
That's actually going for that one.
They all work.
What?
And then Tony in the background.
Well,
only if you've got really good headphones on.
Yeah. So this podcast is going off to a great start.
Yeah. So we didn't go Dora-ing, but we did go drink some beers. I had a West Sider.
Just one beer.
Yeah. So I had a West Sider and I had their Pog. It was really tasty. It was great for today because it was so hot. Mm-hmm. Got some to-go beers, and Westwood is getting busy. And I am both happy and sad.
Dude, there was like maybe 24 children.
There were like 24 children playing on the playground.
It was crazy. I've never seen that many kids on that playground.
Yeah, we got one of the last 2 spots in the pay lot that's closest to West Side. So that was like we almost had to park super far away. And then it was really cute when we were leaving. A fire truck was driving around the triangle that is the Westwood Town Hall. And all these kids at the playground saw the fire truck and started yelling at it. So they honked their horn and threw on the sirens for a little bit. And then as they rounded the corner to go by the park again, a bunch of kids had run towards the other sidewalk and were like, do it again. And so then
they were so happy.
They were so happy. And of course, because the firefighters are also small children at heart, they honked the horn and blasted the siren again. And it's a great little community. I love it.
There's just nowhere to park anymore.
Yeah, it's harder to park. We almost didn't find a seat to sit in West Side.
It was
like, these are good problems for them to have.
It was so packed. I've never seen, I mean, there was a party. I mean, the top half of the brewery was reserved.
Which is pretty typical now.
On a Friday, though? I mean, maybe like a Sunday, but...
I mean, if you want to pay to rent it out, you can pay to rent it out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That they can do that. But yeah, we found a seat. Luckily, they had a guitarist. He was doing some interesting covers with his acoustic guitar.
Yeah, I mean, they were covers that I have heard on acoustic guitars before, just not in that order. It was good.
No, yeah, I mean, I love West Side. We went. So if you gave us grief, you can no longer give us any grief.
Are we going to have to do a counter on our episodes of weeks since we have been to West Side? Like Truth, Beer, and Podsequences has to do weeks since their last Podsequence?
Probably. I mean, or at least drinking their beer. We have to have like a counter.
I mean, we're going next week. We have to go next week. It's in the calendar because we have to renew the mug.
We have to. Well, I thought you were doing that by yourself.
It's in the calendar. You are meeting me at Westwood's Dora.
Okay.
So we can renew the Mug Club membership with small children.
Okay.
Because I am taking the kids with me by myself after a doctor's appointment when they won't have a chance to have any naps.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
It's the best idea ever, hun. But we're too busy the next day to go. That's the problem.
And what are we going to bring with us this time?
Pack and play?
No.
I don't remember.
The pack tops.
Oh, yeah.
Or what are they called?
Pack
tax.
Pack tax. The can holders. Julia's yelling at us right now.
Hey, if you're in the chat, if you're watching us and you know what we're talking about, Caroline, maybe you can go and get it. But we have an entire pile full.
I don't want to get up because I'm going to have to get up to get you a beer later.
Okay, well, okay. But
either chug this or you have to wait.
We have probably over 100 because they just pile up.
We've got like 40 at the most. It's not 100.
You're ruining the illusion.
Dude, one time we did have like 100 though. I felt, and then like a month later, they announced their discount program for them. And I was like, really? I just turned all this in for free. I could have hoarded them for a week longer.
So for those who don't know, these 6-pack holders, they're made of plastic.
It's a hard to recycle plastic, so it's not like you can just throw them in with your normal recycling.
Yeah, Rumpke doesn't do it. They just throw it out. So special places like West Side does it.
I think Mad Tree does. And I'm not sure who else. Those are the only two of which I will name. Because I know Mad Tree does a lot of sustainability stuff, so they should still be doing their program.
West Side for sure does it. They have a blue can. At least I think they still do.
Well, no, they have a discount program now where it's you bring in 5 and you get like $1 off your beer. You bring in like 30, you get like $2 off a growler or something. You get like half growler fill or something like that. And then you bring in even more and you get like something off merchandise or something like that. I don't remember. It's a tiered system for what you get.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't remember what that is anymore.
Yeah, but it's not like they count them. It's like, yeah, that looks like enough.
Yeah.
Here's a growler. That's basically what they did that last time or whatever. It was like because I didn't get, it was like 10% off or whatever it was.
Well, if I throw them in the van in the morning,
yeah.
So if we bring them upstairs tonight, so I throw them in the van in the morning, I will for sure at least have them with us. Now, will I remember to grab them out of the van when I'm dealing with 2 children, I don't know.
Well,
but they will at least be within a mile of West Side.
And I guess we'll have to, we'll talk about it later.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
We just have to remember to do that because they keep, it's probably a year's worth, which all in all is.
Well, no, I mean, it's at most like 8 months because I don't think we brought any over to this house. I think we got rid of them right before we moved.
I don't think we did.
Oh, I don't remember.
Maybe we did. Maybe we got rid of them at Thanksgiving.
I know we got rid of a lot of them at some point.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it was like 4th of July. Sometimes we do like growlers at Easter. Mm-hmm. Like when with the families getting together.
And then we end up drinking like all of the growler.
Sometimes we do it at Thanksgiving too, if the family's getting together. Mm-hmm. I don't think we did it that last year.
We did not.
Yeah. Just because our life is crazy.
A little bit.
But let's move on from the beer talk.
So that was very exciting when we got home because I saw a bat leave our house. So the bats are officially evicted from our house. Because for those who are not aware, we had a minor family of bats living in our house. One of them ended up in our kitchen, and then we evicted it very gently. And then like 4 hours later, another one ended up in our kitchen, and we evicted that one gently. And then we called a guy. And we said, hey.
No, there's one in our basement too.
I wasn't going to mention that one.
Well, that's the one that everyone knows about.
Oh, that's the one that everyone knows about. Okay.
It might be the same freaking bat.
It could be. I don't know.
Yeah. But it was pretty funny. I wish some people wish that there was video.
I do not.
There was not video, but it was just me, and it wasn't when I said so in the weekly pint. I trolled, and I mentioned that I was attacked by a bat.
I mean, you kind of were, but
and I kind of didn't say anything after that. I clarified a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then Elliot didn't let me clarify anymore.
Well, yeah, because he's 2. He does not want to let you do anything by yourself.
Because I was putting him to bed, and I'm like, I wanted to participate, and I'm like, Eli, go to bed. And then he started kicking me, and I'm like, stop it, because that's what he does do. Yeah.
So I called people a bunch. One of them called me back and was able to come out. And so he installed these fancy little, I call them anti-traps in our house where the bats can get out, but they can't get back in. And then on Monday, he's going to work on cleanup. So we don't have to deal with that anymore. And then he'll seal up the holes.
Oh, yeah. So basically they're in their fireplace.
Yeah. They're in our fake fireplace.
It's a fake fireplace. They're not in the attic. Mm-hmm.
We found all the holes, we think.
I don't know how they got in the basement.
I don't know how either. It still gives me the heebie-jeebies, but.
So basically there was a bat in the basement. We were watching Mickey and Minnie.
I blame that on you and Elliot. So Lilly and myself.
Oh, that's right.
Come home from dance practice. Lilly had an amazing first dance practice. I have no idea what she did, but she loved it and she was super excited. Was half of that dependent on the fact that she got cookies afterwards? Maybe. But she was also with all of her friends. And that was important.
Everyone's Lily's friend.
So we get home. I'm like, okay, Lilly, let's go down to the basement. Because we'll at least go say hi to Daddy. Oh, Elliot's down here too. Oh, hey, look, you're watching Witch Minnie. And then just something flies past me. And I'm like, what the? And it's, oh, hey, it's a bat. Okay. Here's the thing. Use that to grab the bat and throw it outside, please, Joe. Lily, can you close the door so it at least can't go upstairs? Joe blames us. I blame them. Because you guys summoned the bat by watching Witch Mini.
He wanted to watch it.
That's like their favorite movie.
Though we did this morning, they woke up at like 6. I was not happy about that.
Yeah. And to answer some questions in the chat. So to clarify, it's not a totally fake fireplace. It's a gas fireplace. So it has a flue. And what I learned is the flue kind of just goes outside. And there's some netting there, but there's not a whole lot preventing stuff from coming back inside. So they just kind of went through there, and that's how they got into the living room / kitchen. I'm not sure how it got into the basement. I think you opened up the door and it came in. But I doubt that. I don't know.
The basement door?
Yeah.
We have some people in the chat.
Yeah, Marco says he drinks a whole growler at a time. He said that a few minutes ago.
Okay. Well, I have mad respect for that because growlers with the G, the 64-ounce ones, they go bad after a while.
They do.
And it's like a 2-liter of pop. Mm-hmm. Or soda or whatever.
Yeah, which is why I bought cans for the party. So everybody can just have a can.
Yeah, and that's why I prefer the growlers with a C as well. Because those you can drink all at once without like needing to share necessarily. It's like it's 2 servings versus like 4.
Yeah.
So
the West Side Bats. Yeah, that's maybe we'll come up with some kind of bat themed beer for West Side, some bat themed name for West Side to use for Halloween themed beer.
For the homebrew that we keep saying we're gonna brew.
I really want to, but our weekends get so full so fast.
Yeah.
My friend is like, hey, can you attend my kid's first birthday party? And I'm like, yeah, I would love to. Oh, wait, it's the same weekend as our Oktoberfest. I'm sorry.
Dennis Rodman Oktoberfest, first weekend of October.
Yeah.
Shout out.
February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Yeah. September 29th, 30th, and October 1st. It is that weekend.
Is it?
Yep. September 29th. I thought it was
the one that was mostly October.
It's a third of October.
Okay. I'll have to take your word for it, but you can always go to cincydonow.com.
I checked. It's in our calendar.
I'm telling the audience.
I know. I'm telling you. I checked it already.
Okay.
But get them those SEO clicks. I don't know. I tried to use verbiage and I used it all wrong.
Well, the SEO, it comes from search. So when you search Cincy Donow, that gets them the SEO. The clicks is something different. It's a different metric.
It at least used to be if you searched Donna Schwaben, cincydonow.com came up first. And that is because Joe is amazing at doing his website job back in ye olden times.
Well, no, it wasn't just me. I mean, they bought the domain. Mm-hmm. Someone bought the domain, donnaschwaben.com, like back in the 90s. And I think he transferred it over to us.
Nice. Yeah.
So
Marco says you can also go to Truth, Beer, and Consequences, 0.5 episodes for all of your beer-related events. We got to plug that.
All right.
Okay, Marco, you owe us $5 for that plug.
What else are we talking about tonight? I mean, we talked about the bats. We talked about Oktoberfest.
We talked a bit about the first day of school. Yeah, so the bats were tricky because they're protected. So you're technically not supposed to kill them. I also didn't want to kill them because then I'd have to hide the evidence from the children somehow. It's easier to do that with bugs than it is with bats.
You have to be careful though, because bats tend to carry rabies.
They can carry things that can make us very sick. Lily flip-flopped between being afraid of the bats, though most of that was due to us talking to her rather sternly about, go here, no, keep that door closed, as the bat is flying around like, hey, no, we can't just be open the door like crazy. Elliot's just running around giggling his head off. He doesn't care.
Like, was he screaming? Like happy screams?
Those were happy screams.
I'm assuming they were happy screams, yeah.
So Lily flip-flopped between being terrified of the bats and wanting to invite the bats over for dinner. But this is the same girl who at one point, when we had a fly in our house and I needed to get the fly out of the house, she said, well, we can just give the fly our house and we can move to a new house. And then the flies can live in this house.
She said that?
Yeah. And then she also said that about the bats. Like, well, we can let the bats live with us. And I said, honey, the bats wouldn't be happy if they lived inside. They scream when they're inside because they don't like it. That's why when you came downstairs from your nap and there was one screaming on the floor, it's because it was unhappy it was inside. And then like I had to try to explain nervous to her. And I made the mistake of using, it's like when you have to talk to somebody new. She's like, but I like to talk to people. I say hi to new people all the time. I was like, oh yeah, that you are my little extrovert. I can't.
She is so extroverted.
I can't use that as an example for nervous for you.
Marcus says, I would move if there was a bat inside. Well,
I mean, so...
burn the house down, start from scratch.
It's not the first time that we have had to remove a bat from a house. I'm like 75% sure we had to remove a bat from your grandma's house at some point.
I had to drive over, yeah.
Yeah. So, something that we have done before.
They just, they sneak in or whatever. I think it was like they sneak in when you have the door open.
Yeah. Or they like find some little tiny hole to get in and you just hope nobody else uses that hole.
There was like a bird. Like birds flew into our old house and stuff.
Well, so the bird got into our old house because it was hanging out on the wreath on the front door. And I opened up the front door too fast that it didn't have enough time to react and fly away.
That was funny.
Before I opened the door. No, the bird was one house. This house was bats.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're so close to the woods. They tore down a lot of the woods for the new neighborhood, so they need a place to live. I would just prefer that it was not in my house. So it will no longer be in my house.
It's not really in the house though.
It's like not.
It's like it's like above the fireplace.
Yeah, fortunately, all the old owners were hoarders, so I have the original drawings for our house, and I was able to show the guy, like, this is what it's supposed to look like, but here are things that are minorly different from what I'm seeing versus what's on the drawing. So some things have changed, but for the most part, it should be this, and that helped him figure out where he needed to put stuff to get them out.
Yeah, we'll see if it works.
It better. Because, yeah, I don't want to have to find a new house. And so this has to work. It not working is not an option because I am not moving all of this stuff again.
Well, I mean, how are we going to move when we have bats? Like, that's something you have to disclose, I would assume. I
would assume so as well. I'm trying to think of all those papers that we filled out. I know we had to disclose if we had water. I don't know if we had to disclose anything about any infestations. Huh. There's a lot that paperwork might not cover.
Wow. I think now that we're on YouTube, like live.
Oh, yeah. We have no... This would totally go against us in court. Yeah. We wouldn't have a leg to stand on with the new owners. You said.
Yeah. So, no, we're taking care of it.
Yeah. And the guy we're dealing with is very professional. He's been super helpful.
Very knowledgeable.
Yeah. Initially, he said he wasn't going to come out until Monday to install stuff. And then he was like, oh, hey, actually, I can come out today. And I was like, sweet. because last night the kids went to bed early. And so I sat in the front yard like a crazy person. I got out my camping chair because my mom and my stepdad said, you have to watch them like you watch fireworks. And I was like, okay, I'll just sit out there and watch them because the kids are in bed, so I can do that.
At dusk, they came out.
Yeah. So they all came out between like 8:20 and 8:40. And I was like, I really wish that I had the tools to close this up right now, but we'll get you guys out soon.
So they have, you said it's a trap. So
I call it an anti-trap. There's a specific name for it.
So it's like a cone.
Yeah.
And it's angled so they can get out, but they can't get in because they have really bad eyesight.
Yeah. So they can't go up the hole, but they can go down the hole.
Yeah. So every night they go out. So they assumingly tonight they all went out to do their bat thing.
And now they can't come back. And no, Marco, he does not have a mullet, but at least one small child that I saw at Westside did have a mullet.
Who has a mullet?
Marco wanted to know if the guy had a mullet, because that would make him more professional, I guess, in the terms of extermination. Though he did like geek out with me for a second on bats and how he's fascinated by them and stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, we're kind of weird people. And I was like, yeah, my stepbrother is in extermination and has all sorts of fun things in his home, including cockroaches and centipedes, like pet cockroaches. It's a bachelor pad. He can do what he wants.
Instead of a kitchen table, he has a pool table.
Instead of a dining room table, he has a pool table. He still has a kitchen table. That's what all the food was laid out on.
Okay. My bad.
And 3/4 of his basement is train table and slot car racetrack.
Marco agrees with you about the mullet.
Yeah.
The mullet makes it more professional. I'm assuming that's what he's agreeing with.
I'd assume so as well.
So our little girl, Lilly, she's turning 4.
Yep.
And we're having a big party for her tomorrow.
Yep.
And I'm grilling all the hot dogs.
I bought a lot of hamburgers and a lot of hot dogs. And Joe was like, wait, did I agree to this? Well, you didn't not agree to it. So I'll bring you beers. You can trade off with your brother. Have some bro time at the grill.
So I will be grilling all day after I cut the grass. Some people might be saying like, hey, why don't you just pay someone to cut the grass? And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
We're cheap Westsiders. One day, maybe.
Doing that now.
I mean, in like a year, Lily will be tall enough where we can have her go mow the grass.
She'll be 5.
I said she'll be tall enough. I didn't say anything about like coordinated enough or.
Well, if that's the requirement to cut the grass, I don't know if either of us would be able to do it.
Marco, you can send your guy to our house. I'll pay him in a beer. And then you can pay him in actual cash to mow our lawn.
My guy is coming to cut the grass tomorrow. Well, I think tomorrow, Marco says that it's, we don't have a guy. I am the guy. It's me.
Hi. You're the guy. It's you.
I did a Taylor Swift reference.
I turned it into a Taylor Swift reference.
Well, I mean, I recognize that reference, and I used it.
Okay, Cap.
No cap means no lying.
I was calling you Captain America.
Oh, okay.
That was a different reference that went whoosh.
But yeah, it would have been awful if I tried to cut the grass today because it was like 1,000 degrees out.
Yeah, it was. So I left work. Well, I left the plant floor at 9:30, and I was already like, please make sure you're drinking water. Please take breaks because I feel like I am going to die and I'm not doing any physical work.
Yeah.
I'm just existing in this space.
Well, the reason why I want to cut the grass is because that is like my exercise.
Yeah. Well, and I got too much exercise when I cut the grass a week ago. Ish. I don't know. I needed to take breaks. I
don't think you can get too much exercise. I think you need to take breaks.
I overexerted myself.
Yeah.
Our hill does not seem that steep until you're going up it for the 20th time. And then you have to go up it for the 50th time. And you're like...
It does get old once you get by the place that...
Yeah.
It's like, I'm over this.
Yes. It's...
And then you have to do this little area by the entrance, the fence entrance or whatever.
Yeah, with the weird pretty bushes. It's fun. It's exhausting.
I like the house, even with the bats.
Yeah.
But the bats are going away, so that's a plus.
Mm-hmm. We still see deer in the backyard. If Elliot is having a mental breakdown and we cannot calm him down, hey, bud, I see deer in the backyard. Usually gets him to snap out of whatever cycle he is stuck in to go look for deer.
You found a robin's nest in one of the trees.
Yeah, I think there might be another one.
Oh my goodness.
That'll be our third robin's nest on our property.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like there's...
I mean, they don't have as many nests as they used to because they tore down all those trees. So now they're going to live in our backyard. And our kids are going to learn where baby birds live. They still don't know where they come from. They just know that's where they live until they fly away.
Yeah. I forget what I was going to say, but...
Yeah, so we at least had our second family of baby birds leave the nest. There could be another family or two that was in there that we just didn't notice. And then we've seen lots of bunnies. They have started to get smarter and stay away from our yard, though. Because it's pretty funny one morning. Well, funny for me, terrifying for the bunny. There was a bunny that was hanging out in our yard, and the dogs were sniffing, but they didn't notice that there was a bunny in the yard. And so the bunny started inching towards an exit, and then the dogs noticed the bunny, and so the bunny bounded for an exit, hit the fence like 2 times, and then finally made its way through a hole. I was like, you got in, I know you can get out. And then I'm like trying to call the dogs back, like, hey, leave the bunny alone.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if they would even know what to do with it if they caught it.
I don't know either. I think Clara would just like bark at it.
Yeah. Well, so when they found a cat in the yard, that's essentially what happened. Clara barked at it and Zoe tried to stalk it and just like slowly got closer as the cat was like, stay away from me. So
Zoe might attack.
She might. She's tried to catch birds mid-flight before.
Yeah.
And almost succeeded.
She hasn't, though.
The only time she has willingly gone more than like knee deep in any body of water was going after a duck that she had exhausted with help of our friend's dog.
Oh, to chase the goose?
No, the ducks. Yeah.
Oh, the duck.
Yeah, we saved that duck's life. Well, Hillary saved that duck's life. She was faster on the reflexes than I was with grabbing Zoe.
Zoe was a little younger back then.
She was. Now she's old lady now. She just wants to lay in bed.
She wants to lay outside.
And outside, yeah. You have more patience with her than I do. Because I'm like, Zoe, come in. And if she doesn't come in, I'm like, okay, you live out here now. And then like 5 minutes later, she's barking at the door like, let me in, Ma.
Oh, we were trying to leave. That was...
Yeah, I would have just left her out there. You'll be fine. It wasn't that hot outside then.
Yeah,
now, not so much.
This was a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Today, hun, you're only outside for 5 minutes, then you're coming in. I don't care how broken you are as a husky. You may not lay out in the sun for an hour today. I refuse to let you do that.
Yeah. Well, I am out of beer. Are you out of beer as well?
I am, and I should probably not get another one because trying to be healthier and stuff.
Well, I think we're at time. We're at 45 minutes.
And we're out of topics. Unless if Marco has other stuff that he wants us to talk about. But
is he still listening?
I don't know. Marco.
That is so weird.
Have you met me?
Okay. We are the Craft Parenting Podcast. We are going to wrap this up in a neat little bow. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. We are the Craft Parenting Podcast, Craft Parenting Podcast on all social media platforms, obviously YouTube, craftparentingpodcast.com. I'm at Craft Parenting Joe on Instagram.
I am at Caroline Creates Crafts on Instagram, and I shared a cider photo today on my Instagram. So,
what does he say?
He just said hello.
Okay.
So, like, I'm maybe going to share some beer photos there too. I don't know. I haven't shared a craft photo in forever. I've got like 30 craft projects in the works that I need to work on.
Yeah.
But I don't know when that's going to happen.
Yeah. And you can follow us on all the social media platforms. And if you want to subscribe, we would appreciate that.
Slam that like button, smash subscribe, ring that notification bell. YouTube stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. And we'll release this as an audio podcast as well. So we'll be on all the audio podcasts.
But if you want to see our gorgeous faces, we're
and
on
the hat.
YouTubes. And the hat, yeah.
Exclusive hat.
That you got a compliment on by a bartender at Westside. Well, a comment on.
Yep. They commented on it. They wanted to know what it was. And I told them. And with that, we'll see you guys next time. Marco, thanks for tuning in.
We appreciate you.
Appreciate it. All right. We'll see you guys.
Bye.